especially for the new teachers. Can we have the new teachers raise their hand, please? Good to see you. Okay, they will need a lot of assistance from you. For example, like take them to movies, show them good restaurants, and if you guys are going to Taipei, please take them. They will need all the help. Okay, yeah, but don't worry. If you guys need out of town assistance, just let us know. Okay, send us an email. And all right, let's start. So let me explain the process from work permit to ARC for you guys. I know some of you know this already. But for some new teachers, I think I need to explain it again. Basically, there are two ways of entering Taiwan. Well, one thing is that if you are American, if you are Canadian, okay, you guys know that you guys can enter Taiwan with visa exempt. So it means that you don't have to apply for a visa beforehand to come to Taiwan. You can come anytime you want, and you can stay up to 30, 60, or 90 days, okay? But the visa you get in Taiwan is called a non-extendable visitor visa, which means you cannot extend it. If you want something longer, well, you gotta get employed, or you need to leave Taiwan and then come back, okay? Now, and for some countries that do not have this visa exempt entry agreement between the two countries, such as the South African teachers, you will need to apply for visas before you come here. It's called a tourist visa, usually. Sometimes you will get a work visa to get to Taiwan. That is if you have the work permit already, okay? But most of the teachers, when you come to Taiwan, you don't have the work permit then. So you come here with a tourist visa, so I have to write the recommendation letters to you guys, right? They're not recommendation letters, the invitation letters, okay? Yeah, and I believe one of the few teachers, South African teachers, they were asked by the embassy because who's this Leo guy? He's invited a lot of people to Taiwan, and his schedule is always the same, okay? Taipei 101, 9 份. Why is he always the same? Okay, so I got a call from them asking me to list my home address and my ID number, so that was the drama happened for the South African teachers. Okay, and so the tourist visa, when you apply for South African teachers, when you apply for the tourist visa here in Taiwan, you at the consular affairs, you will apply for the resident visa directly. They will skip the process for you. Okay, so at the consular affairs, you will get a resident visa, and so you're paying 3,000. Okay, at the consular affairs. But for other teachers who came in without applying for a visa, you will only get an extendable visitor visa at the consular affairs. You will have to go to the immigration, get the resident visa and the ARC later. Okay, so the whole process is a little bit different. Okay, now, now for qualification for APRC. Now, just so you know, APRC, it means that you will have to work in Taiwan for 5 years. Okay. And there mustn't be any lapses in your ARC for the past 5 years. So your ARC must be, if your ARC is up, you need to extend it before it ends. Okay, so there's a smooth transition for a whole 5 years. If there's a lapse in between, you gotta restart the clock. Okay, and you must have no criminal records during the time of stay in Taiwan. Okay, if you got drunk and disorderly conduct and got arrested by the police, it's already no APRC, okay? Must be in good health condition. Health check is needed for this, okay? And the required documents includes ARC, APRC application, passport, physical record within 6 months, and diplomas, and non-professional certificates. Basically, the government will ask to prove that you have certain skills to stay in Taiwan. Okay, but the situation changes all the time, okay? And sometimes with a different clerk at the immigration, they will ask for different things, okay? It rarely happens, but it does, all right? And
that means
yeah.
permanent residence, right?
What?
Permanent residence.
That's called permanent APRC, yes, okay? And even if after you got the APRC, you must stay in Taiwan for at least 183 days per year, okay, to retain the status, all right? And also, marriage to a Chinese person can also be qualified. It will be called a different ARC. It's called a MARC, marriage, okay, or dependent ARC, all right? And for more detailed information, it is always best not to ask us because the law changes all the time. It's better to ask the immigration directly, okay? When I called immigration for the information on APRC, they always recommended that you ask the teacher to get the documents that he has and then come down to the immigration for a personal interview. And then he will talk to the teacher and tell him or her about like what you need to prepare or whether or not you'll qualify for this, okay? So I know some teachers are thinking about applying for APRC, okay? But the best thing for you to do is first to go down to the immigration and speak to them on your own, okay? And see what you need and if you're qualified, okay? Because you don't want to prepare for everything and then you're informed, sorry, you know, blah, 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 okay? And ARC extension, okay, must be applied within 30 days before the ARC expiry date. So you cannot say, oh, I want an extension 3 months before it expires. No, you can't. You got to do it within 30 days, okay? And each extension can be up to 6 months, all right? The required documents, blah, 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 I will send an email to you when the need arises. It's usually free within a year, okay, since the issue date, or 1,000 NTD annual fee is required. But one thing I need to tell you is because we have a very special contract this year. It's a 1.5-year contract. So for some teachers, we did not anticipate this at the beginning. So we just prepared 1,000 NTD for the fee. But that means you only get your ARC for 1 year. So the correct way to do this is to pay 2,000 because it's a 1.5-year contract. So your ARC will be the same as your work permit. Okay. That being said, it doesn't mean that if you just have a 1-year ARC, there's nothing you can do about that. Before your ARC expires, you can go there and extend. Okay. Just pay 1,000 extra and extend your ARC. Okay. And you're done. All right. So for the teachers who haven't gotten their ARC done, remember the fee is 2,000, not 1,000. Okay. And for more information, the immigration hotline is free. Okay, you can always call them. Now, an important places to know. Okay, well, first thing is the Bureau of Consular Affairs. Okay, this office is in Taipei. Okay, well, actually there are several offices throughout Taiwan, but the one that you should go, because you're in Taoyuan City, the one that you should go is in Taipei. Okay, now. But the thing is, one thing you might not know is that according to the latest information, the Work Development Agency from the Ministry of Labor no longer handles foreign teachers' work permit. Okay? From now on, it is in the hands of the K-12 Education Administration with the Ministry of Education. All right? Which means everything is in disarray right now. They don't know what to do. Okay? And right now, from what I heard, they are having this whole validation process done by an outside third party. Okay? So that means it used to take 7 to 10 work days. Now, it's going to take up to a month. Up to a month. Could be. I'm saying could be. I'm giving a safe estimation. Okay? That's what happened with Lisa's work permit. Okay? She started the process back in February. But they haven't issued her work permit yet, okay? And the thing is, it's all in disarray, and they're pushing the responsibilities from one party to another. So right now, from what we heard, it's done. It's going to be issued, but it seems that the K-12 Education Administration are taking their time, okay? I don't know why, but it should be done by the end of this week, okay? Immigration office. The one that you should go is in Taoyuan City, all right? And the local police department, right? This is for you to know because when you apply for the police clearance check at the end of the contract, you don't have to get one from your home country now. You can just get one from Taiwan. And it's a lot faster and cheaper, okay? Usually what we do is that we apply for it online, and it's done within 3 days, okay? Now, very, very easy and convenient. Now, the national health insurance, okay? I know for some new teachers, you don't know what it means for the wonderful Taiwanese national health insurance. Basically, it's full package for everybody, okay? When you go to the clinic or the hospital, you only pay the admission fee, unless you want to try more powerful drugs than the health insurance covers, okay? Sometimes, I do that when I have a bad flu, and the doctor will say, there's a new drug, you want to try it, okay? It's not covered by the insurance. You want to try it? Okay, I'll give it a try. And it's not expensive either. It's usually about maybe $300 to $400 extra, so it's very cheap. Now, but one thing I do want to remind you is that a lot of you don't know the difference between the clinic and a hospital. I didn't think that it was necessary to explain, but one of our teachers had terrible experiences, so I want to talk to you about this. Basically, when you go to the hospital, it is the opposite situation to the situation in the state. When you go to the hospital, it's cheaper. When you go to the clinic, it's more expensive. But in Taiwan, it's the opposite. When you go to the clinic, it's super cheap. It's 100 to 200 admission fee. But when you go to hospital, it's around 600 to 700 to $800. Okay, so it's a lot more expensive to go to a big hospital. Why? Bigger hospital, bigger resources, bigger, better, maybe better doctors. Okay, maybe better doctors. Okay, but if you want to get an MRI, for example, I'm sorry, you can only go to a big hospital, okay? But dental, other things around, just clinic would be fine. Yeah?
What about blood work? Do we
Blood work?
have a hospital for that?
Clinic rarely does blood work. You will have to go to the hospital, yeah. And basically, it covers every single hospital in Taiwan. If you're not sure, before you go into the clinic or hospital, you should check for this sign. Right here, you can't see very well, okay? Give me a second. Can't see very well. There's supposed to be a sign here. Oh, I'll show it to you later. Okay. Check for the sign before you enter the hospital or the clinic. Usually, hospital is definitely covered, but the clinic, well, it is a chiropractor or a Chinese medicine doctor. You need to double check because I would say mostly they are with the national health insurance. But what if you go to one of those doctors practicing without a license? It can happen. Okay, you might have gotten a reference from one of your local teachers because the Taiwanese people do trust the Chinese medicine a lot. Okay, and sometimes you do get references like that, but they don't cover the health insurance. So yeah, be careful about that. Now the health insurance employee 30%, 70% employer, which means the money you pay every month is actually 30% only. Okay, and if you're wondering, what about the 70%? The school doesn't pay from your paycheck. They pay extra. Okay, the amount is taken out from the school, not from your paycheck. Okay, now, most of the hospitals and clinic, the doctors speak English. Okay, and you won't have any problems with that. But the Chinese medicine doctors, I would say, probably not. Okay, they probably don't speak English. ARC is a requirement. Okay, if you don't have ARC yet, don't worry because the national health insurance actually is with your work permit. So once you have your work permit, you are technically covered. But before you get your ARC, you will have to pay the full amount. Once you have your ARC and your health insurance is done, you must keep the receipt that you paid for, okay, before the time you get your ARC. And you can go to the National Health Bureau and get a refund for those expenses, okay?
How much is the monthly insurance for the employee?
It depends on your salary. It's a percentage of your salary, okay?
What
for
percent?
Me,
that percent? No.
No.
Oh, that's 30% of the amount. But what is the percent? What do we
It
pay?
works out about 600, 700
A month.
and
Yeah.
it's not very much.
For me, with the labor insurance
Thank
every
you.
month, I pay about 1,400 per month with labor insurance.
So
okay?
we pay labor insurance as well?
You do. If you are under age of 65, then you are covered. You're covered with the labor insurance. Okay. Now let me talk about the labor insurance. Not 65. Sorry, 60 years old. The fee is 20% yourself and 70% school and 10% government. Okay. So the coverage includes childbirth subsidy if you happen to get pregnant during your work year, you will get coverage for that. Commuter's protection, it means when you're commuting and something happened along the way, labor insurance covers it. Accident insurance, that's not what?
That's not
Okay, alright. And like I said, you must have a work permit, okay? And also, there's additional insurance from the contract, okay? According to Article 4, Section 5, subsection 1, teachers will have 2 million NT accident insurance paid by the school, and also 20,000 medical insurance, okay, by the school. All right. And for more information, of course, we hope that you never ever get a chance to use it. All right. And for more information on the coverage of accident insurance, you should consult your school or the English Resource Center on the definition, okay, if you want to know more. Now, okay, driver's license. A couple of the teachers have asked about the driver's license. Basically, not all international driver's license can be used in Taiwan. There is actually a form on what city from what country. You know, there's a different rule for every city in every country. Okay, so maybe provinces and states, maybe not down to the city. But I think the last time I checked, I saw there was a different rule in San Francisco. So maybe I was wrong, but I have actually have the form. So if you need one, I can email it to you. Okay, if you need one. Now, basically, with your international driver license, you can't use it in Taiwan yet. You gotta convert it to the Taiwanese version. So you will have to go to the DMV in Taiwan, give them your driver's license, okay, and they can exchange it. All right. And scooter driver's license, I'm sorry. If you're driving under 100cc scooter, then your driver license will be okay. You can use your driver license for that. But if you're driving above 100cc, you guys know that, does it mean anything to you, 100cc and 150cc?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
150cc basically means you can go up to the mountain with your scooter. Okay? But with 100cc, if you try to go to Mount Yangming, it will take you forever, probably burn out your engine. Okay? and you will have to take road tests if you don't fit the qualification. You have to take the road test and the written test. Okay? And most importantly, you can't do it without your ARC. Okay? So this will have to be done after your ARC. And I already asked Joyce if she has time to go to the DMV before today and bring back the pamphlet. I'm gonna check with her again. If she doesn't, I will find somebody to go to the DMV and get an English version for you guys. Okay? Now, but I do have all the test questions for practices if you want to pass the written test. Okay? Basically, driving scooter in Taiwan, of course. From the school's point of view, they don't recommend it because there's a saying in Taiwanese, if you're driving a car, is iron wrapping meat. If you're riding scooter, is meat wrapping this iron. Okay, so it means that driving a scooter, and it is true, scooter accidents are a lot more common than car accidents. Okay, and if you want to drive a scooter in Taiwan, you gotta be very careful, and especially if you're from England, because it's in the other direction, right? All right, and of course, if you want to drive a scooter or drive a car, the liability insurance is mandatory. You cannot drive a car without it. Okay? Now, the liability insurance basically covers for whatever damage caused to the person that. Sorry, not the person, the car that you bumped into if you had an accident, okay? Now, if you want more insurance, of course, it's more expensive. At the DMV, they have a special counter for you to apply for that, if you want to. Now, yeah?
Regarding renting a car over the weekend, what are the
renting a car, you need, okay, this depends on the services.
Yeah.
Some agency accepts international driver's license. But I would say 80% of the rental agency don't accept that because they only trust the Taiwanese driver's license. So that could be a problem for you who holds an international driver's license. Okay, and there's no point of arguing the law with them. You know, this is acceptable in Taiwan. They'll be telling you, yeah, it's acceptable, but we don't want to take the risk. Okay, now. What was that? I was gonna say driving. No, I already passed that.
Mandatory liability.
I'm getting old. I'll come back to me later.
Sorry.
Okay, it's okay. What was I talking about?
Liability insurance.
No, I was talking about the rental. Something very important came up.
Insurance.
No, I already talked about it.
Going home.
I'm getting old. It's okay. When it comes back to me, I'll tell you guys. Next one, taxation. Just for the new teachers, benefits. Okay. Now, just so you know, at the beginning when you first work in Taiwan, the tax is 18%. Okay. But once you have stayed in Taiwan, this counts from the day you enter Taiwan. So you can look at the entry stamp on your passport. Okay? It starts from the day you enter Taiwan. Okay? As long as it reaches 183 days, your tax will be 5%, not 18% anymore. Okay? Because after that, you'll be considered a resident in Taiwan. So it's 5%. But you might be wondering, okay, what about the last 6 months after paying, 18%, right? You'll get 13% tax return. All right? And for the most teachers who have been through the EB program, just so you know, because the EB program was an annual program that ends in December, so it was quite easy for you to get to file your tax at the end of the year. But however, in this program, the situation is different because your program is 1.5 years. There's no way you can offer a plane ticket as proof that you're leaving Taiwan after December, okay? Because you still have to work, all right? So you won't be able to file your tax at the end of the year this year, okay? You can only apply it in next May, all right? The same way as every other Chinese person, yes?
Leo, what if we have to finish the contract before the year and a half? Would that still apply?
Yes, if for any reason that you have to terminate the contract before the end of December, then yes, you can file your tax, and you should before you leave Taiwan, if you don't want to leave a bad record, okay? Now, the 183-day calculation refreshes every year, just so you know. It's not like, oh, I stayed here last year for 183 days, so this year, I don't have to follow the same rule again, right? But unfortunately, it refreshes every year, so you have to stay here for another 183 days. However, I believe the school will only take 5% off for the renewal, for the teachers who renew the contract. I believe. Check with Joyce, okay? Check with your school, okay? Because supposedly, you got a long contract, and they should be just taking off 5%. But this is different for every school. If the school worries that for some reason you might leave, you might terminate the contract for any reason during the contract duration, they might still take 18%, okay, off your paycheck, just to be sure. But they will give the money back to you, of course, okay, when the 183 days is up, all right? So it depends on how the school processes this. I'm not quite sure. Every school does this a little bit differently. Now, it's a new program. It's not like the EB program, so we have like 13 different schools, okay? Now, next one. The tax season is from May 1st to May 31st. Everybody file their tax during that time. You must have your withholding vouchers, okay? You can also do it online. There's a program you can download, but I don't think it's in English. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it does. I usually do mine online so I can use the credit card. So I can...
So we are expected to do our own tax?
No. I'm just saying that's an option. Usually we take care of the taxes for you guys.
Okay.
We will take you to the taxation office, okay? Now, because with this year, most of the teachers won't be able to file your tax at the end of the year. So as far as the proxy for the tax return check, okay, it depends on in July, okay, right? Next July we'll ask again if you want to refresh your contract. If you do, no, sorry, let me rephrase that. I think we still have to use a proxy just in case you guys don't continue the contract, okay? And for most teachers from the EB program, you guys know how we process this, okay? Basically, you appoint a proxy for, it's usually Joyce, Pamela, me, or Arthur, or Ruby, one of us to be the proxy. What we do is that you will leave the check for the proxy to pick up, and the proxy will have to deposit a check into his own personal account to be able to transfer the funds to your account, okay? The check cannot be directly cashed, okay, at any bank. It must be deposited into a personal account, all right? So just so you know. Now, we've been doing this for many years, so you don't have to worry. Trust our integrity, okay? Now, and the location is in the Ministry of Finance or the District Taxation Office. Now, and self-service, okay? Now, I know some people are against the idea of a cell phone. You might even say, I can live quite fine and well without a cell phone. But I would have to say, if you want to explore the full potential of your stay in Taiwan, it is imperative that you get a cell service. Why? because the internet is very, very convenient here in Taiwan. We get 4G, okay, 4G connection everywhere. So with the cell service, you're able to use the internet, use Google Map, use a lot of the check for information wherever you go, okay? It will make you feel less stranded in certain situation, okay? Now, you might have gotten prepaid cards from different telecom services at the airport, okay? And if you didn't get it then, you won't be able to get it until your ARC is done, just so you know. This is the rule. Well, there's also another option where you go back to the airport and go to the airport counter and then buy the prepaid card, but it's such a drag, okay? Now, the monthly self-service plan requires a Taiwanese guarantor, and unfortunately, we do not provide that, okay? So unless you have a good friend in Taiwan who wants to be your guarantor, like a girlfriend or boyfriend, okay, or a very nice Chinese teacher who wants to be your guarantor, okay, they can help you get a monthly self-service. But I'm recommending a different option. Did a little research with prepaid card, and T-Star Telecom offers the cheapest prepaid card, really the cheapest, okay? If you get one at the airport, it's a 300 NT startup prepaid card with unlimited 4G for 3 days and 300 calling fee included, okay? And for T-Star Telecom, their calling fee is $2 NT per minute. Only $2 NT per minute. Do you know how much it costs at Far East? $6 per minute for cell service. If you're calling a cell number, it's $6 per minute. If you're calling a landline, it's $10 per minute. So T-Star is very, very cheap. Okay, very, very cheap. Now, but the 300 prepaid card can only be used for 3 days. Okay, only for 3 days. And then you got, if you want to renew the service, you need to pay. You need to buy a 699 NT card for 30 days. Okay, so during the 30 days you'll get 10G or 4G access, and after the 10G is used up, you get unlimited 3G access after that. So you might be wondering how fast is 3G? It's still usable. It won't be as fast as 4G. What does that mean? It means that when you go to YouTube channel and watch a video, 4G is so smooth. You click on the video and it just plays right away. But 3G, there will be like a buffering time. Okay, you see the little, the symbol round and round. Okay, so but still you get access with internet and yeah.
So I have one from Yatai Dianxi.
Yeah.
And I pay $5.99 and I get unlimited 4G for 30 days, and it's very smooth.
Do you get like?
I don't know what you can buy. I go to Ximen things.
Do you get can it be refilled every month?
Yeah, every month.
Oh, great!
And it's better than going through the company. Don't ever go to the company.
Yeah.
They charge you so much.
Monthly services binds you to a contract, so it's not really the most, the best option. Because what if you have to terminate the contract for some reason? You got to go back, and you gotta, if you gotta terminate the cell service, you need to pay extra money. There's a fine involved. So I don't recommend the monthly rolling plan. But the Yatai, what is it called in English?
I don't know.
G something. GT something, I forgot. GT Telecom. If it works, that's fine, because I didn't used to use GT Telecom because their services, I don't like it, and 4G is not very good. But if he has a better plan, yeah, this is something that you guys can share. Okay, I just made a call with the major telecom companies, and this is the cheapest one I found. Okay, but however, the $6.99 doesn't include the call plan. So if you want to call people, you need to put more money in it, okay? Now, I don't know about how much it costs at Yatai for like calling time, like calling fee is like 5 NT per minute. Okay, a little bit more expensive, but acceptable. You know why? Because Line, praise Line, okay? It's the most popular communication app in Taiwan, okay? It is available on iOS, on Android, on Mac, on PC. It is very similar to Skype and WeChat, but you get free text messages, call service, video phone service. You get some limit of the storage space on the cloud, okay? So like, for example, if you want to store a list of your favorite restaurants, you can put it in the notepad with Line, okay? And it will always be there as long as you don't forget your account password. Every time you log in, all the information is still there. Line is very convenient. with line, you don't even need to call the landline or phone number. Okay. Now, and it has very cute, like the stickers. I love the cute stickers. Okay. And I believe if you ask the teacher in Taiwan, I would say 99% of them have line.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And it's definitely recommended. It has the English version, so you don't have to worry that everything's in Chinese. What do I do? Okay. They have the English website, the English version of the app. Don't worry. Now let's talk about your applications. Okay. Now, basically, no outside work. Okay. Of course, there's always a very gray line between, a little extra cash over the weekend. I would say you should turn off the video. I'm just kidding. Okay. If you want to do a little extra work, okay, I would say tuition, of course, like a private tutoring, is the best way. But don't tutor the students in the school. The worst gets out. People call window. And then soon it's not like something you did. Oh, I did it a year ago. I don't have to do it again now, do I? Okay, but if you want to renew a contract, you got to do this again. All right? They ask for new ones every time. Being late and leaving work early for more than 5 times per month, that's the big no-no. Okay, be careful on your attendance. Okay, we have had teachers be fired because of his attendance record. Okay, don't hang out with students after school, especially junior high school teachers. Don't. Okay, don't do that. Fornication with the students is strictly prohibited. Do you know why? That it is extremely difficult for teachers to come to work for the Bushiban teachers. The public school teachers, not yet. Do you know that the Bushiban teachers, they have to get like a national police clearance check or the criminal history check from their country to be able to work in Taiwan? Do you know that? And that means they got to get for Americans, they got to get an FBI fingerprint check. How long does it take? 6 months. How on earth would a Bushiban contact the teacher 6 months before asking him to go to work in Taiwan? So this law is set specifically to prevent the foreigners from coming to teach in Taiwan. Why? Because there was a Chinese teacher, not a foreign teacher, who fornicated with his students at a Bushiban. Bushiban is a cram school, school after school. And he was caught, he was sued. There were pictures leaked out. Really bad. And for some reason, the foreign teachers were caught in the fire. And this new law was set. Well, of course, this new law is not just for the foreign teacher, also for the Taiwanese teacher as well. Okay? But the thing is, you guys are innocent bystanders. For some reason, this happened. Okay? And so, very, very bad, just so you know. Okay? And personal leave application is usually 1 week prior notice, except for emergencies. Like, for example, like you had a back problem, you woke up in the morning, can't get out of bed, or something like that. Sick leave application, you need to have the receipt from your clinic or hospital, okay? So basically just go there, they will give you a receipt for that, and you use the receipt for your sick leave application, okay? That is fine. You don't need to get the doctor signing saying, this person doesn't have to work today because blah, blah, blah. You don't need that kind of a formal notice. Just a receipt will do. Okay, contact information.
So for personal leave,
yeah.
if I have classes and I want to take leave anyway, if it's personal, am I guaranteed that time?
You need to speak to your school. Okay.
But through the contract, am I?
You're not supposed to. You're not allowed to.
We're not allowed to.
You're not allowed to. If you have classes at that time. But like I said, if you have an emergency, for example, a family member passed away, you need to go back to the States or go back to your country to handle the funeral. That is called, I don't know if you noticed, in the contract there's a part saying that there's a involuntary blah blah blah, like a reason, okay? Yeah, there's for any reason. For example, earthquake struck the school and the school was destroyed, okay? And the school had no choice but to terminate your contract. That's called it's the God's will, okay? There's nothing you can do about that, okay? It just shit happens, okay? Yeah. And all right, contact information. So yeah.
Leo, could you please explain about the unpaid leave?
Unpaid leave.
Unpaid leave, yes.
Unpaid leave. what is unpaid leave?
Leave.
Not paid.
I know, but what is unpaid leave? You only get 15 days of paid leave in this contract, and then 3 sick leave per semester. What is
But
unpaid
in an
leave?
emergency, say,
Oh,
say
okay.
a parent died and you had to go
Okay,
in and
you mean like a personal leave? Usually they will let you use your personal leave, your one of the 15 days. Okay, they won't say, oh, are you saying that you want them to take money out of your paycheck for that leave?
Yes, the one where you don't get paid, like you want.
Oh, are you talking about? Sorry, maybe I misunderstood you. Are you talking about the 1 month unpaid leave, like the EP program?
Yes.
Okay, like that is being discussed still by the English Resource Center, because they do understand it is really frustrating for you guys not being able to go back to your country for a whole month. Okay, so I believe at the beginning of the semester there were a lot of confusions because it was a continuation on the EB, and you're supposed to start on January 2nd, but you didn't. You actually go back to your home country and then came back. That is called unpaid leave. Okay, but I believe the English Resource Center they're still working on like what is the best time for the teachers to have an unpaid leave. Okay, so later that information should be released by Joyce and Pamela. Okay, but I don't know any updates from that so far. Okay, but I will keep track of that. All right.
And about the 10 or 15 vacation days.
Yes.
Can a teacher take maybe 1 day?
Yes, you can.
If it's not summer or winter vacation.
It's okay. Yes, but you gotta take it during the time when you don't have classes. Unless you have a good reason. It's something that if you have a good relationship with your school and you explain to them well about your reason for taking a personal leave, I believe the school is lenient enough for them to allow you to take the leave if it is emergency. If there's something you should have to do, okay? But if it is if it is a situation where you cannot provide a good reason, I think the school will be really reluctant to let you take the leave, okay? Yeah. Does that solve your question? Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does, Lee. But I think Joyce have another understanding about that. So, because my director did contact her about that last week Friday, and then she said I can only use my days in summer or winter, so I have no leave at all.
This is a different situation, a different information from what I heard. It's okay. Let me double check with Joyce. Okay. Yeah. Let me double check with Joyce. Can I? Oh, sorry. Let us talk after this. Okay.
But can you share that information with the rest of us?
Sure. I will definitely.
Who
do
has
that.
the authority over this? The final authority over taking leave? Is it?
I would say school has the authority, but the reason why they're asking Joyce is because for you might not know, many of the schools in this program, it is their first time to work with a foreign teacher, so they are new to this. A lot of times they don't know what to do or if it is okay to do this. So that's why they're consulting the English Resource Center for this. But actually the school has the full authority for the vacations. If they want to give you one, it's up to the school to decide. They're your employer, okay? Okay, but for schools like Chang, for schools like Happy Elementary School, they know the program. They know this very well. So, can you do this? Talk to them, okay? And I believe if you have a good reason, they should be able to let you do that, okay? But for schools like Cindy's school, she's Yang Mei, that's a new school. It's first time for them to work in the program. It's not? I believe it is. It's not?
It's the first time.
First time, right. So they don't know much about this. That's why they consulted with the English Resource Center. And for Joyce, I believe she's quoting the contract, okay? But let me speak to her and ask her again about this, because I got a different information from them at the beginning, okay? Now,
well, I've got some leave in April, and I just asked the director if I could have some time off. He said 3rd or 4th, it was fine.
okay, just so you know, like, sometimes like when Joyce, when she announces certain things, she's also using her past experience. She is so experienced in this Taoyuan program, not just from this, from Xinhu. You guys might have known her way back, okay? Because she constantly visits the school on behalf of the DOE, okay? So sometimes she is quoting, maybe not the way that the Wen Chang would like to do things. Maybe she's quoting from her past experience, but that's something that we can always discuss and make sure it is the final answer from the school. Okay, yeah. And this is the contact information. You should always take a picture of that for that. Okay, and the location I just explained it, so I'll skip this. All right. Okay. Probationary period and disciplinary protocol. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Let me go back.
That's a selfie camera.
You mean, oh my God, I accidentally touched the
I'm stretching.
Not like you.
Okay. Now, probationary period and disciplinary protocol. Okay. Just so you know, there's everybody knows. 3-month probationary period. Starting from the first day of work, a 3-month probationary period is observed since, during which a teacher's competency and character will be the determining factor for staying on the program. Okay? When I interviewed with the teachers in this program, you guys asked me about the probationary period, right? Right. You asked me, like, under what circumstance will a teacher not pass the probationary period? Okay? Let me rephrase that again. If you have serious attendance problems, if you do not prepare for your classes, okay, if you're the type of teacher who goes into the classroom and says, oh, I forgot to bring markers, okay, let me go get my markers, okay, oh, I forgot I should use a whiteboard, let me call the coordinators and get a whiteboard. If you're that kind of a person, then of course you might not survive the probationary period, okay? If you, and I don't mean disrespect for any of you here. I know all of you, some of you, most of you are experienced teachers, like that, okay? And you have your own ideas and your own way of doing things from other countries and everything. And sometimes when you are in this new environment, you might not understand the culture or the way you do things here. And let's all be honest, it's not always perfect here in Taiwan, okay? But try not to have serious confrontation with the school, okay, at the beginning, all right, at the beginning, because they don't know you yet. They don't know what kind of person you are. You are a very nice teacher, that's why we recruited you, right? But they don't know you well enough. So at the beginning, if you come on very strong, okay, on some of the issues that you face, the school might have a misconception about you, and they think that, oh, we don't want this type of teacher, okay? So I don't want to lose anyone, all right? So make sure that a lot of the problems you face or issues you face, don't push it too hard to the school at the beginning, okay? Smooth it out, all right, over the duration of the contract. That's my personal suggestion, okay? I've seen a lot of the cases here. What are the scenarios? We got a salmon problem teacher last year, or it was the year before that. Okay?
Salmon problem?
Yeah, he required specific type of salmon from China, and asked me to ask about the importing law and everything. I got everything for him. And then he said, it turned out to be very difficult to import that certain type of salmon. The reason why he has to have that, he said, without it, I'll die.
Was he Canadian? I want to know.
Without it, I'll die, okay? We went through a lot of trouble, like, just to accommodate him.
I know this story.
Oh my God. You have no idea. It gave me nightmares still.
There's a specific type of buffalo I eat.
Yeah. So, that kind of situation.
Okay, well, tell us more. Yes, you got the salmon. That's more interesting than the contract stuff.
I need to toss the...
All right, so that kind of a behavior might get you fired. Yes, okay. All right, and let's see. With respect to parts irrelevant to the dispute, nor affected thereby, blah blah blah. Okay, this part means that if for any reason you had a disagreement with the school, don't express yourself by not coming to work. Okay, we have had teachers who done that before. It was an issue with soap. That teacher thought it is Renhe's responsibility to provide soap for all the children in the school. And because of the funding, sometimes the school do not have the enough funding to purchase the soap for everybody. So sometimes when the teacher walks by the hallway and see that the tray is empty, that teacher will be very furious and complain to the school about this. And the school, of course, like, we're not going to accommodate that. Okay, we do the best we can with the funding we have. So the teacher decided to protest to this by not coming to work. Yeah. Well, the soap thing is, it's all funny now that you hear it. It's not funny at all, trust me. Okay? But the thing is, what I'm trying to say is that don't try to protest something by not going to work. It's the worst way, okay? Because then the school has every right to terminate the contract because of this, okay? Of course, they don't want to terminate the contract if you are a good teacher, all right? So try not to do that. And serious misconduct. If there's a serious misconduct, don't worry, you don't get fired right away. It's not like that, okay? During the 3 months probation period, yes. But after that, the school has to go through certain disciplinary protocol. For example, they've got to issue the warning letter. Once you have the warning letter, you have time to improve yourselves. And the school will make observation of that improvement and decide whether or not a second letter should be sent, okay? And so that's the whole protocol. And the poor performance, Party B must be notified about problems. If you have a teaching problem, the school cannot just speak Chinese, and then after 3 months, bye-bye. Okay, they cannot do that. They need to tell you what the problem is. Okay, so you have the chance to improve. Okay? But of course, if you refuse to accept their advice, that's a different story. Okay? But they should always give you the opportunity to improve. Okay? Now, all right, sexual harassment policy in Taiwan.
Yes, please.
My favorite part. Now, differences in culture. Actually, I hate to talk about it, okay? Now, Asian people, especially females, and your students might have difficulties with physical contact, such as hugging, cheek kissing, and touching. Okay, I know that in your country, you have very specific laws about your students, okay, about the distance you should keep away from your students. Actually, the more problem that occurs in Taiwan is with your co-workers, okay, especially the Taiwanese teachers, all right?
What? How do you mean? Us touching them or them touching us?
Both ways. Both ways, okay? Both ways. If you are hot, like...
So, sometimes kids see teacher, they go, oh, teacher, and they run up and they grab you.
If they grab you, you do this. Okay, that's enough. That's enough, okay? All right, that's enough. Go back to your seats, please, okay? But you cannot say, ooh, I love you too. Okay, no, don't do that.
That's so sad.
Just pat them lightly on the back 3 times to say, that's enough, thank you.
Well, actually, it's not that serious, okay? I'm just being over dramatic, okay? But the thing is, like, the correct way is always to raise your hand up high and do nothing, okay? And tell the kids to go back to the seats, to their seat. But it's okay if you want to hug them or pat them, as long as, this doesn't become like a habit. If everybody's hugging, everybody's cheek kissing, then
what the elementary kids?
I know,
they love
it's difficult. I know, it's difficult.
They want to touch you.
It's difficult. I honestly, in my years of teaching, I got complaints from the kids, parents too, once in a while. Okay, because I certainly can't remember to do this. Honestly, I never remember to do this. So when the kids are too fond of me, I just go, oh, and then sometimes the parents saw that and they're not very happy about it, okay? Because it's a cram school, okay? So the parents can observe my class, all right? There was one time a kid kissed me on the cheek, a girl, okay? It's horrible for me.
Like the first date.
Because then the parents complained and everything. Of course I didn't do anything, but my boss told me, never let it happen again, okay? Yeah, it's just something that you should be careful. Protect yourself. That's what I'm saying. All right? Did it ever happen to you like that in prep school, Luke? Right? Did anybody see it?
Not do that on.
Maybe I'm waiting to begin the lesson.
Right.
So we start at 9 and they're at 8:55.
Right.
And then the co-teacher whispered to the kid, "Chinga, chinga, chinga." and then point to me. That's a kiss, right?
Ah.
Running, kissing. I'm like, what is going on?
Oh.
So
Sounds like a setup for a lawsuit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I have to tell her, don't do that.
Right,
This
don't do that again.
terrorism.
Right. There's cameras in the
Yeah.
primary school. I don't know about public schools, but just be careful. Okay.
My guideline is if they're 4th grade and below, and they come to you, it's kind of okay. Anything above 4th grade is kind of.
Yeah.
But don't go to them. If they come to you, 4th grade and below, it's kind of fine. But anything above that is.
Really good problems. Should put the kid in like a back room and turn the light off. Meet him. I'll put my manager.
Oh.
She would
Okay, so next one. Okay, vulgar jokes, comments should be refrained in the office, especially from the opposite sex. Okay, the Taiwanese teachers, you never know. So I would just say that keep the vulgar jokes among your quarantine. Keep the vulgar jokes to your friends. Okay, if they can take it. Okay, don't try it out with the Taiwanese teachers. You never know what will happen. Okay. Some teachers might find it very offensive. Some teachers might laugh about it. Some teachers might give you even worse vulgar jokes. Okay, but the thing is, don't try it out. All right.
I wouldn't dream of doing any of these things, either here or in England or in America or anywhere.
Just a friendly reminder. Okay, just a friendly reminder. Okay, don't let that happen. And just so you know, if a case like this happens, don't worry. It's not going to be like what? Oh.
That's your 3-month probation.
It's not going to be like, oh, the school will fire you right away. No, they have to have a committee. They have to investigate the matter because sometimes it's hearsay. Sometimes it's it's a point of view situation. So they have to investigate. But usually this kind of thing doesn't happen very often. So yeah, just so you know, there's a certain protocol for handling this. If you were harassed by the local teacher too, for example, like the ladies, if the local Taiwanese teacher always ask, hey, are you free for lunch, free for dinner? Let me take you out. Okay? Yeah, if you find it uncomfortable, let Joyce and Pamela know about this.
What, so they can join?
No!
What did she say? I missed it. What did she say?
Okay.
Listen, people don't ask you for dinner in normal life, so my colleagues are not going to ask you.
That's true. That is a good defense mechanism. Because if you do it several times, they will stop asking.
I have a teacher. Please ask me out for dinner. Sexually harass me.
Okay. Here's a sample video.
What's this?
Just in case we don't know
Oh.
what. In case we don't know
Computer is so
harassment.
bad. Give me a second.
3G. Must be 3G, not 4G.
Probably just because it's a slow computer.
Well, PowerPoint is really finicky about
The
codecs.
Wi-Fi is pretty slow.
That's so cute.
Okay.
You don't know about that.
Okay.
I've been poked.
Yeah.
I'm not poking.
You don't need more. Okay, so basically it just tells you like what it's like, what constitutes as harassment. All right, so our roles here. Okay, okay, so the project managers. I know it's a little bit confusing in this program because it's all new and we have many different schools. It's a program with, that covers a lot of ground, and sometimes I apologize that we cannot serve you or we cannot help you immediately. Okay, because especially at the first 3 months, because people are coming in and our hands are really tied. Okay, and if that had made you uncomfortable or angry about this, I'm really sorry. Okay, so our roles between Renhe and you might be wondering what Joyce and Pamela, what their roles are. They are considered as project managers. They are part of Renhe and part of school. They're the representative from the English Resource Center, but they're also, you know, our part of our company too. Okay. Now, so they will be in charge of communication between the school and the teacher. Okay. If you have a problem at the school with a teacher or with the academic program, what you can do is that you can talk to Joyce and Pamela about this. Okay. Now, conducting teachers' performance evaluation, they will start visiting you soon after. Okay. Right now we have the program up and running. They will visit your school to do the evaluation. Okay. And you all know that evaluation is with the completion bonus. Okay. So their evaluation is the determining factor on, you know, whether or not you qualify for the bonus this month. Okay. And work permit application, they apply for work permit for you. Okay. And also they assist us on various tasks. But sometimes when we are when we don't have the extra hand to help you guys, they will help you out. Okay. Or there are certain documents that we will direct them to help you with, like ARC and taxation stuff. Okay. Now, what we do is that we do airport pickups. We find suitable accommodations for you guys and other needs for the newly arrived teachers. For example, if you need directions, from where and where, usually we give you that information at the beginning. Okay. Now, visa application, ARC application, account opening, health check, police clearance check, and tax filing. That's our jobs too. But it may not always be Arthur or Ruby because, like I said, the project managers will assist us whenever we need. So there will be times when it's Joyce and it's Pamela who handles your ARC or handles your tax filing. Okay. And I'm sorry if there's like confusions before. From now on, before your ARC is done, please direct all questions to Renhe, and we will assign the tasks to different people. Okay? After your ARC, I'll talk about it later. Okay? Now, the schools, they are your employer. They can. Now, this is a different program, and I know that some of you are like really experienced teachers. You've been with the program for a long, long time, and you are not used to this new situation where the project manager seems a little bit distant from you. Okay, they're not there on campus because before they were coordinators on campus, and you have a problem, you tell them right away, and your problem is solved almost immediately, or at least you will get a response right away. But in this program, because the 13 schools are so far from each other, so there will be some time for us to respond to your questions. Okay, the project managers might not be able to help you right away. Okay, but they will usually help solve the problem with a phone call first or email first. Okay, and if it's something that requires a personal touch, they will come by, not immediately, but maybe a few days after. Okay, now, so any immediate needs from the local area. For example, you're wondering like, where can I find a nice dim sum place? Now, of course, the obvious person to ask the question is the teachers at the school. The reason is because they live in the neighborhood. They know the area a lot better than Joyce and Pamela or us. Okay, you know, when you ask me about, where can I find blah blah blah, what I do is that I find it on Google Maps and I send you the link. Okay, because that's the only thing I can do. All right, and Google Maps is quite convenient. Okay, just so you know, cheap supermarkets, PX Mart. You know PX Mart? Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, PX Mart is the cheapest. Okay, and Chenlian, they're everywhere, almost everywhere. Okay, or Dinghao, Welcome. Okay, Welcome is everywhere too. They're not always the cheapest, but they're everywhere too. Okay, so some of these information you should really ask the schools for immediate answers. Okay, or like if you want to know, maybe your charge cord is broken. You want to buy a new one, but you don't know where. Okay, you can ask the school teachers. They'll help you. Okay, they'll say, you can go to this shop. I'll take you there even after work. Okay, so the immediate person to ask these kind of questions will be the school. They will, in this program, they will be a lot closer to you than the project managers. Just so you know, this is the nature of this new program. Okay, now it won't be like EB where you have one person stationed at the school, because in EB we only had 3 schools. But in this contract, in this program, we have 13 schools, okay? But only 2 project managers. Now, and the protocols for assistance prior to ARC. Email us the question, and we will help you, or we will assign Joyce and Pamela to assist you. Okay? And for out-of-town assistance, like if you want to know some nice bed and breakfast places in Eli, don't go to Hualien right now, okay? Hualien just had a big earthquake, okay? But they're supposedly they give $500 for every person who travels to Hualien. But I think that's for only Taiwanese people. So without your ARC, maybe I wouldn't try that, okay? Yeah. NT. Yeah, 500 NT. Okay. So maybe you can ask your local teacher, hey, you want to go to a trip in Hualien? Well, Hualien is very beautiful, but the road there is kind of dangerous, okay? Because the only way of access is by the coast, and the coast is right next to the rock, the cliff, and whenever the weather is bad, there are rocks falling down. Okay, I hope I don't make it sound too bad, but it happens sometimes. Okay, rarely happens. Okay, people who live in Hualien, they're quite content with the environment. Okay? Nothing bad happens there. Okay, now for after ARC, Joyce and Pamela said, please contact them for any question. Okay, if you have any question at all related to school, related to personal needs, ask them first, and they will ask us to assist. Okay, so after the ARC is like this. Okay, does that make sense to you guys? Okay, after the ARC, Joyce and Pamela. Before ARC, 任何. Okay, now that's pretty much it. All right, any questions?
I have a very, very important question.
Yeah.
Will we get